but Vanessa asked her one time. He said, "Well, what are you doing?" "I'm having dinner. dinner, dinner." Planters got much attitude when she said that. But like I said, she then passes off Dwayne on to Philip, and they're leaving. And Vanessa, and always for some reason has nerve. She got extra nerve, and she said, "Mom, you never told me who that was." And she says, Vanessa, if you're lucky enough to live past tonight, have 5, be a mother of 5, be a grandmother of 2, and still wear a size 8, I will talk to you.
You know what that reminds me of? I just saw, and it must be an old clip because Byron Scott interviewed Magic Johnson, and I guess what's your boy's name from the Timberwolves? Anthony Williams.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. I guess he made some kind of some reference to the old school players.
Yeah, he did.
And Magic said, "Yeah, he get you some championships, and then you come talk to me."
You talk to me.
Once you win one, you talk to me. Other than that, we have no conversation.
We have no conversation. We would not have any conversation until you can present to me a ring and the Larry O'Brien trophy.
You present a ring with the T-Wolves insignia on it, and we can talk. We'll talk.
But other than that, don't call me. Don't call me at all. They ended it all. Ron asked a joke about getting his parking validated, but I was like, no, man, you should have gone out on that Claire.
Jailbait.
That Claire.
Jailbait.
That Claire joke should have ended the whole show. That was great. That was great.
It should have closed it up. Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yep.
The Blacklog is sponsored by Fade to Black Funeral Homes. Death is a part of life, but put life into your loved one's death. At Fade to Black Funeral Homes, with t-shirt printing and tattoo artists on site to commemorate your loved ones. Fade to Black Funeral Homes. Now we're talking about
I call them categories. You call them superlatives.
Superlative category, whatever.
I do like superlatives.
I don't know. But, most HBCU thing. I know what we're gonna say. It's only one thing.
I didn't have any. It was tough on the category. Oh yeah, that's true. My bad. It didn't even register.
It was not your brother's. Maybe that was.
but I mean, you're right though. I mean, people stepping on the yard, especially at the HBCU. Yeah, that's very. Yeah, yes. Yeah, you're right.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, least likely to have the HBCU thing. I didn't have anything.
I missed the most obvious, most HBCU thing, but highly unlikely. There was nothing that stood out.
This was a great episode. It was it was a great episode. It just was.
Sure. This part was easy. The next
for me, strictly R&B, hip hop song. I had Strictly Business by EPMD. At first, I was looking for something about moms, and then I said about the business seminar because the title was Risky Business, and I had Strictly Business by EPMD.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Well, mine was Backstage, Underage Adolescents. How you doing? I reply, I sigh, like do the wild thing.
Wow.
Action took place. Hey. The J, the I, the M, the M, the Y.
Wow. Well, you need to state who that is for those who may not. You have yet to.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I guess Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison.
Hey, man.
I mean, I think this, I thought that they were at least still playing that, you know. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a song called Poison by a group called Belle Biv DeVoe, and they came from the group called New Edition.
Yes,
right?
They did. Oh. Yeah, they're the three people in the middle.
Yeah.
How could I say BBD? Belle Biv DeVoe. HBC alum as a guest star, and what role?
I had not an alum, but probably at the time a rising junior or senior, but decided to leave. Marlon Wayans.
Really?
Marlon Wayans, who would be sitting in the pit when Ron and Dwayne Wayne approached the girls, and he's sitting right behind them at his chair, and he's back there going, jailbait. That's jailbait. Oh, jailbait. 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 5 to 10. 5 to 10. 10 to 20.
10 to 20. You are stupid. Oh my God. I had. Let me make sure I say it right so I can. I had inventor and Tuskegee University alum Lonnie Johnson.
Who's that? That's the water
Yes.
water
Yes.
the water gun boy.
I had him as water gun man because he made a lot of money. I had him at the pitch. I had him in Claire's pitch seminar, and he says, out of curiosity,
You might want to at least let people know what exactly he made.
I'm going to say that.
Oh, okay.
He is talking to her and saying, Miss Huxtable, I wonder if you're meeting with somebody, how do you go about pitching an idea to them? And Claire's like, son, you're not there to pitch your ideas. You're there to get a job. You're there to please them. That's all you want to do. It's like, but what if you have a really great idea that could do something great for the company? And she's like, son, again, you are there to get a job. You're not going to change their company by any means at this point in time. And she says, for our amusement, just curious, what is this idea that you think is so great that's gonna change the world? Well, you know how people have water fights? I have a way to make it more efficient. It's called the Super Soaker. Son, and Claire's like, son, don't you dare bring that up at any interview. Lonnie Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker.
Billionaire Lonnie Johnson. Is he a
Yes.
billionaire? I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, he's not a
I mean,
billionaire.
he's obviously a multimillionaire.
He's a multi-millionaire, and like I said, he's the inventor of the Super Soaker, and I had him.
I want to look. I need to look that up though at some point to see if he's a billionaire because
He's not a
I'm
billionaire.
pretty sure there are a lot of
he's-
super soakers being sold.
He's doing quite well. He
He ain't hungry. I guarantee that.
My HBU story was I remember going to a job fair because they had EU story. Huh? No.
The HBCU story?
Yeah, my story was I remember going to a job fair because I heard they had food served. So they told me, dude, said, man, they got food. Really? So basically, I just put on the suit and went in there, and I was going to all the food things, and I was just telling lies. I was pretty much laying up in the cut, get some food, and somebody talked to me. Oh yeah.
So you were like Theo was when he went to that whatever to get food. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Just like that. How about that?
I mean, excuse me, my nostalgia story is just my visit to Howard my junior year. Hey man, got off the plane. I remember we sat at y'all practice. They had a 40. Got a beef patty from. I was introduced to the bakery. What's the name of it?
Brown's Bakery.
Brown's Bakery, yeah. And I would go there later on after when I returned as a student at Howard. And I just remember going to that I just remember that Kappa Kappa Psi party because my freshman year, bro, I just remember walking around like I was lit. I was like, man, this place looks familiar. Where do I know this place from? Oh, this is the campus house. I was in this exact place.
I was here.
My junior year. Okay.
Where is that?
The cabin. I don't remember. I just remember what the house looked like on the inside. I just remember the keg was in the same place. Everything was exactly the same. They had the keg in the kitchen, and the partying was in the house, or what, they cleared it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there you have it.
And we went to Philly the next day to eat at I think it was whose house did we go to in Philly to eat Easter dinner?
Oh, we went to Richard's house.
Yep, went to Richard's house. Yep.
We went to New York.
We went to church. We went to Philly. I know we didn't drive all the way to New York.
I don't. You got me.
Well, I know we got to the church, and the church was letting out. I was like, well, miss Easter Mass. Well, so much for that.
And you know what? You're lucky. I never took any trips. That's like I look at, as kids take trips now, like to go visit school. And I just remember in college.
Well, you tried to get me to come up for homecoming one year, and bro, you from New Orleans, bro. This ain't no homecoming, bro. I'm like, bro.
All right, but this the homecoming. But back then I understand because you didn't know.
I'm like, bro, I had my suit ready, bro. I was going to the dance, bro, the date.
Understood. But then you went to Howard homecoming. You was like, ooh.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh. Oh, that's what you was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you was talking about. Oh man. As always, I've enjoyed this.
Shout out to Pope Leo, man. Mystical reminded me of the Pope. The Pope Pope Leo reminded me of Mystical in his younger years when he did the commercial for Soul Train Fashions, in which he said, "Make him say Jesus. Start singing in the Lord's name. Thank God for the Soul Train magazine. Karan Delet, East Bank."
I miss
and
that
on
commercial.
Chef. Chef is Chef Ventura Highway, people. For those of you not from New Orleans.
I missed that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man.
I missed that commercial.
Soul Train Fashions had a couple of jingles. You had the Soul Train Fashions.
That's the one I knew. That's the one I knew. That's the one I knew.
Then later on, they got Mystical, bruh. Mystical came on the radio on WYLD. Make them say Jesus. Start singing in the Lord's name. Thank God for the Soul Train. And then he started naming off the streets that they on. Magazine, Karan Delet, East Bank.
You need to explain that. You said thank God for the Soul Train, but it's Soul Train. There was a place called Soul Train Fashions in New Orleans. You just saying thank God for the Soul Train. Everybody saying, why are you thanking God for the Soul Train? I mean, everybody appreciates Don Cornelius and stuff like that. But he is thinking there was a place called Soul Train Fashions in New Orleans, and that is what he's saying. Because he said thank
Soul
God.
Train Fashions.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Just make that clear.
And and Soul Train Fashions were where all of the high schools in New Orleans got their uniforms because nobody needed anybody in New Orleans. They needed everybody in New Orleans wearing uniforms to high school. It doesn't matter, public or Catholic. They needed you in uniforms for many reasons.
If you're wearing uniforms, ain't nobody gonna rob you for a uniform. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Ain't nobody gonna. They would rob you for alligator belt, but shark skin belt. But they ain't gonna rob you for you. They ain't gonna rob you here.
Not for Black K Swiss.
They're not. They're not gonna rob. I don't want the Black K Swiss. I'm good. See, I'm good on that. Man, as always, it's a good one. I enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed that episode. Hey man, until next week. He's Ryan. I'm Rod, and this is the Blacklog. Peace.